So once again, thanks all for joining this call. Let us start the session. Let me share my screen. Let me know once you're able to see my screen. Are you able to see my screen? I have shared my screen. Can someone confirm if you are able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, welcome to PNY Institution. So, today's session we will see about a glance on what is SAP and why, what is the use of this SAP and what are the different modules in SAP and what are the different functionalities of those modules. So, so as an consultant, you will be learning more about the functionality and what are the configurations in Uh, so, so these are the contents which we will be seeing in today's session, like what is SAP and SAP and its modules through one business example, and we will see in simple business process flow for and what is the scope and future in SAP. So first we need to understand what is SAP. So the abbreviation for SAP is nothing but system application and products in data processing. So if you have a note in hand ready, you can just note these things like what is an abbreviation for SAP. So the abbreviation of SAP is system application and products in data processing. So it is an wide enterprise software that runs almost all aspects of a company. So you can note down these points what I am just telling you. So it is a wide enterprise software that runs almost all aspects of company, from purchase to sales to arrows to billing. So have you noted down this? Okay. So so what is an ERP? So ERP is enterprise resource planning. It is an integrated management of core business process, often in real time, mediated by software and technology. So for better understanding, we can take a simple example to understand why we required SAP software and what are the uses of this SAP software. So SAP software is an ERP software. So normally in a company to do the day-to-day transaction, we require one software to do the billing and to do the purchase. And we need to know what is the profit we have made, what is the loss we have made. So to calculate or to accommodate all these details, you cannot note it down in the paper or in the Excel sheet, you cannot do all the transactions. So for this particular purpose, we required a software. So that is normally called as an ERP software. So in ERP software, there are different ERPs softwares are available in the market. One of the best ERP software is SAP. So what are the other ERP softwares? So in interview, they might ask, so what are the other ERP softwares? So what are the other ERP softwares in the market is Oracle, JD Edwards, and PeopleSoft. So these are some of the ERP software which are available in the market. And now we will see who can learn SAP. Like any graduates can learn SAP. There is no prior experience is required for learning SAP. And there is no coding knowledge also required for a functional consultant. So what is a functional and what is a technical consultant, we will see in the next slides. So let us take a simple example to understand much better. Let's assume you are running in a restaurant. So in that restaurant, you are just preparing a biryani and you are selling it to the customer. So normally, to prepare a biryani, what are the ingredients required? So normally, what are the ingredients required to prepare a biryani? So like we required rice and we required chicken and we required masala items and we required water. So these are some of the ingredients which you require to prepare a biryani. So normally on day-to-day basis, you will be preparing so many biryani, so many number of biryanis, and you will be selling it to the customer. So you cannot note it down all these things in a paper, and you cannot remember so how much rice you have bought, or how much masala items you have bought, or how much chicken you have bought, and what is the profit you have made, whether we have made any profit or while selling to the customer, did this has become a loss. So to calculate all these things, so you require a software. So for example, you can take a smallest ERP like Tally. So everyone will be knowing Tally. So that is the smallest ERP software. So in a big enterprise, you cannot just note it down in a paper and you cannot remember all those things. So for that purpose, we required one software. That is an ERP software. And in ERP software, so SAP is the biggest ERP software in the market right now. Let me pause here, and if you have any questions on what is SAP and why we required SAP, you can just start.
Am I audible? No.
Yes, actually, yes. Yeah.
So as you said, there are so many ERP softwares like Oracle or PeopleSoft. So why should someone go with SAP when there are already so many ERP softwares?
Yeah, so that is a good question. Like, so there are already so many ERP softwares in the market. So why the people are choosing SAP? So because in SAP, we can, in further classes, we will come to know there are different business scenarios. We can do it in SAP, and we can do so many developments and enhancement based on the customer requirements or the business requirements. You can modify the system the any way to the any way you want, and there are already standard functionalities available to satisfy the customer's needs when compared to other ERP softwares. And in SAP, we have introduced Fiori also, which no other ERP software is right now having. So what is Fiori and everything you will be coming to know in the next slides. On the next sessions, you will be knowing. So you will be using the Fiori apps. So these are some of the reasons why all the customers are choosing SAP. Any other questions? Okay, if there are no questions, we can move forward. So in SAP, there are different modules, like one is functional and another is technical modules. So in functional module, we have different modules like MM, FICO, SD, PP, HCM, and PM. So MM is nothing but material management, so which we will be learning. So FICO is financial and controlling. SD is sales and distribution. PP is production planning. So HCM is human capital management and PM is plant maintenance. So what are these functionalities? I will let you know now. And in technical module, we have ABAP, that is Advanced Business Application Programming, and we have BASIS. So there is no abbreviation for BASIS. So let us take a simple example to understand what is the functionalities of each modules. So let us assume, so we are working in an iPhone manufacturing company and you are receiving a customer requirement. That is, I require 10 iPhones. So your customer orders 10 iPhone to your company. So normally once the customer orders 10 iPhone, so what you will be doing? So normally we will go and check in our inventory. So inventory is nothing but the place where you will be storing the material. So you will be checking in the inventory whether we have the iPhone ready for the dispatch to the customers. So if there is no iPhone ready to dispatch to the customers and there is no stock available in our inventory, so what you will be doing? Then you will be manufacturing this iPhone and you will be selling it to the customer. So let's assume like to manufacture an iPhone, you required a display, an Apple chip, and camera module. So these are some of the items. So in SAP, we will call all these items as a material. So you require these materials, for an example, to manufacture an iPhone. So our customer requirement is 10 quantities of iPhone. So to manufacture 10 quantities of iPhone, we require 10 items of 10 materials of display and 10 materials of Apple chip and 10 materials of camera module. So now what you will be doing? So you will go and check in your stock. So we don't have the finished product. So finished product is nothing but the Apple iPhone, which will be selling it to the customer. So you don't have the finished product in your inventory. So now we need to manufacture this iPhone. So to manufacture this iPhone, you require these materials like display, Apple chip, and camera module. So now you will go and check in your inventory whether we are already having this display and Apple chip and camera module. So suppose let's assume like in your inventory you don't have these items like this display or Apple chip or camera module. So what you will be doing? So you will be procuring these items from the vendor. So who is the vendor is nothing but uh, let us take the biryani example itself. So normally if you don't have any chicken or let us take in your kitchen, you're going to prepare the biryani and you don't have the ingredients like chicken or masalas or onions, everything. So what you will be doing? So you will be going and buying it from the departmental store. So that is called a vendor. So from whom you are going to procure the material and you will be giving the payment to the vendor. So what is procurement is purchasing. The another word for purchasing is procurement. So in SAP, we will be using some terminologies like procurement and more terminologies will be coming. So you need to understand. So if you don't know those terminologies, you can just unmute yourself and you can ask me. So now this display, this Apple chip and camera module are not available in our inventory. So we will be buying it from the vendor. So let's assume you are buying these items from the vendor and you will be paying it to the vendor. So that process is called P2P process. So that will be taken care by consultant. So the consultant will be taking care of P2P process. So that is procure to pay. So procure to pay process will be taken care by consultant. That is, you are buying the material from the vendor and you are going to pay to the vendor. So now you have bought these materials and now you are going to do the manufacturing. So in manufacturing, there will be so many machines and how much material is required to manufacture this finished product, and at what time slot we need to manufacture. So all these production related activities and what is a material requirement planning. So those things you will learn in the further classes. So all the production, so I'm just giving a higher view to understand better. All the production related activities will be taken care by PP team, production planning team. So now using these materials, the production planning team have manufactured this item and they have kept it to sell it to the customer. So then comes the sales and distribution team. So what they will be doing is they will pack this material and they will be selling it to the customer and they will be receiving the payment from the customer. So that we will call it as O2C process. So that is order to cash. So packing the material, getting the order from the customer and packing the material and selling shipping the product to the customer. So those activities will be taken care by SD team. So that is SD consultant will be mapping this process in the system so that the users can work on their day-to-day basis. Now we have another module like plant maintenance. So in our production, we will be having the machines, right, to manufacture and product. So there will be a regular maintenance for that machine. At what time we need to maintain and what is the there might be different tools they will be using to manufacture the material. So what are the tools which they require and when they need to do the service? All the maintenance related activities will be taken care by PM team. So PM consultant will be taking care of the maintenance activities. So and there is another consultant which will be taking care of financial related activities. That is FICO. So FICO will be taking care of AR and AP. So that is accounts payable and accounts receivable. And what is a balance sheet? So balance sheet is nothing but where you can see the overall company's revenue and what is the profit made, in which bank accounts we have received the amount, and which bank account or the GL account from which you are going to pay to the vendor or you are going to receive the amount from the customer. So all the financial related activities will be taken care by FICO. So in yearly basis, there will be an audit will be there. So in that audit, they will be showing the balance sheet. So all the financial related activities will be taken care by FICO. So the MM module itself will be integrated with FICO, SD, PP, and PM. And we have another module that is HCM. So HCM is nothing but human capital management or HR module. So what they will be doing is all the employee hiring and giving salary to the employees. All the employee related activities will be taken care by HCM team. The MM module gets integrated with all the below listed modules. In SAP, we have overall of 25 plus modules, but these are the parent modules. Without this, you cannot do any implementation. So what is implementation and support? Next slides, I will tell you. So these are some of the functional modules or the main parent functional modules which are available in the SAP. Let me pause here. If you have any questions on the listed functional modules, you can just ask. Okay, if there are no questions, then we can move on to technical modules. So in technical modules, we have two modules, that is ABAP and BASIS. So ABAP is nothing but advanced business application programming. So normally this SAP is built by ABAP codings. So there will be a technical consultant. To become a technical consultant, you require an coding knowledge. So there should be in basic C++, Java, and Python. So those coding language you should know to become an ABAP consultant. So normally what is the work of the ABAP consultant is, apart from the standard functionalities which SAP has provided, if the customer required to do any enhancement or any new development apart from the standard functionalities which SAP has provided, then there comes the ABAP. So the ABAP consultant will do the development based on the customer requirement, and they will be giving to the functional consultants. And as a functional consultant, we need to showcase to the business that your requirement has been satisfied, and we need to get the unit testing. So all these things, unit testing, everything you will be knowing in the further classes. So normally, right now we just understand like what is the use of ABAP consultant is. Apart from standard, if there is any new development, then we need the help of ABAP consultant. So for example, we can take this PPT itself for an example. So in standard, we have these tabs like menu, and here you can see below there are some functionalities. So if suppose this is the standard functionality which the PowerPoint has given. So apart from the standard, if the customer asks, I need any extra tab and I need any new functionalities. So then let's take an example like the customer required one more tab like export. And in that tab, they require one functionality. Like if they select or if they enter the text, it should throw some templates or something like that. So if that is the requirement, the business will tell to us like they as a functional consultants, we will be the point of contact for the customers. So we will be talking to the business or client, and you will be getting the requirement that the customer required one more tab, and here they required one functionality. So if they press the button, there should be different templates should come. So once you get those information from the business or client, so you will be conveying to the ABAP consultant. That is, we require this additional functionality. So then what the ABAP consultant will do, they will do the backend coding. And once they did the backend coding, in the front end, you can see the additional functionality which customer required. So that is the use of ABAP consultant. And we have basis. So what is a basis consultant role is? So normally in SAP, right now you just understand these are software installation team. Like they will be installing the SAP software in the system. So they will be building the servers, and they will be taking care of the database. Or if there is any server related issues, they will be taking care of all the server related issues. They will be building the server, and they are software installation team. Right now you just understand this high level understanding of what the basis consultant will be doing. So if you have any questions on what is the use of ABAP and basis consultant, you can just ask me. Okay, so if there are no questions, then let me move forward. So, so normally what is the scope of an consultant, or what is the scope of an SAP consultant is? Let's assume you are working in Accenture. So we are all working in Accenture, and we have a client like Tata Motors. So in Tata Motors, they are using different ERP software like Oracle or JD Edwards or PeopleSoft. Now, they came to know like SAP has more functionalities than their ERP softwares, and they are willing to implement SAP. So then they approached Accenture to do the implementation. So in Accenture, we are working. So let's assume we are MM consultant, one guy is FI and a PP consultant, everyone. So we will be getting the requirement from the Tata Motors that like, so what is your business process? So how you are doing your day-to-day transactions. And as a consultant, we will be implementing that business process in SAP. So we will be doing the implementation of SAP to Tata Motors. So that is one of the job of a consultant. So in implementation itself, we have different kinds of implementation. In further classes, we will come to know. So right now, you just understand as a consultant, we will be doing implementation. And next is the support project. Let's assume we have implemented Tata Motors. We have implemented SAP in Tata Motors. And in day-to-day basis, they will be getting the issues. Like they are not able to do the business transaction. So there is one error is coming. So at that time, they will approach us and we need to solve that issue. So that is the another role of an SAP consultant. So normally we will be doing implementation and support. If you have any questions, you can just ask. Okay, if there are no questions, then and we have only 2 minutes left. Like to end the meeting will be ended automatically. So I am requesting everyone to rejoin using the same link. Or what we can do is right now we can just disconnect and rejoin again because this recording will be allowed only for 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we can do, we will just wind up now and quickly we will reconnect in the same link.